I guess team roles in our football club really work. We obviously fielded a pretty young, inexperienced team against a pretty experienced Swans team. So I think at the end of the game, Kenny was pretty happy with how we played and all the team roles we played. So it was good.
You think you've taken a more experienced side into this week's game?
I think that's the idea for this next week and the week after, to field a bit more experienced team, and then obviously for the lead up for round one.
You played the first game. Were you happy or keen to play all of them heading into round one?
Yeah, I'd love to keep playing every game and sort of put my hand up for round one. But if that doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I just want to keep playing footy and keep putting my foot forward.
You obviously finished last year really well. How do you sort of take that late season form and build on it now?
Yeah, over the pre-season I've been working on my fitness to, obviously with the rotations now, I could be a bit fitter, so that's something I've worked on, and if I can sort of keep that form going ahead, that's what I want to do.
You've more than proved now that you can come in and play a role, play really well at AFL level, but do you believe that you can sort of push and become a genuine, best 22 player here?
Eventually I'd love to do that, but I'm just happy to play my role, and if that's with the Magpies in the AFL, that's how it is. But yeah, I'd love to be able to sort of cement my spot eventually. Yeah.
Have you sort of been told any specifics as to how to do that, or what sort of areas you need to work on?
Kenny sort of said just keep staying on the edge. That's how I play my best footy, and go out there every week and just play tough footy, and it'll eventually all pan out.
With your fitness base and stuff like you were saying, you've been working hard.
Yeah, worked a lot over pre-season on that, and I'm in sort of the best condition I've been in, which I needed to come back in, so that'll help me out in the future.
When we look from the outside, it's pretty hard to pick your first 22 for round one. Is that sort of how you guys see it in here? Is there that real belief that spots are genuinely up for grabs?
Yep, yeah, we had a fair bit of competition over pre-season, and guys know that no one's, or probably not no one, but a lot of guys' spots are up for grabs, so everyone's pushing to play round one, but yeah, there's good competition around here at the minute, which is good.
Who did you spend most of your time against on the weekend?
I stood against Buddy for a little bit. That was pretty intimidating. He's a pretty big guy. Yeah, a bit of Parker, a bit of Kennedy. There was a lot of rotations like through the midfield for them because they're such a good side. So yeah, it was good to get that experience again against another good team.
Some big names and some big bodies there.
Yeah, they're big boys. Obviously, me being pretty small, it's a little bit intimidating, but I guess sort of been playing against men for the last 6 years now, so you sort of get used to it.
Do you go into matchups like that, like against Parker, who's sort of a goal-kicking midfielder, and learn from someone like that when you're playing against them?
Yeah, you're always learning out there, and to play against probably, I know, top 3 or 4 midfielders in the comp, you always have to learn, and you sit back and watch every now and then to see what they do, and yeah, they're a really good team.
How did you see Dougal Howard's performance in the ruck? He looked like he loved the competitiveness of it.
Yeah, that's all we ask of Dougal, to go out there and give us a contest. Obviously, he's been thrown into that role this pre-season pretty late, and he's putting his right foot forward every week, so he's doing really well at the minute.
He looks like he could step in and play senior footy if he's needed this year as well, and give Lopes a chop out.
Yeah, we found out in the weekend a lot of guys can come in and play a role, and that's what Kenny asks. Just be ready when your opportunity comes, and if that's this week or in 10 weeks, you just got to sort of wait, I guess.
You talked about everyone played their role and you can still achieve without some of the big name players. What is the other things that you've learned as a group this pre-season, perhaps from last year?
Yeah, well, a lot of guys have been saying this, but we were inexperienced on the weekend, and we all had to play our role, otherwise we might have got swept off the park a bit. But tough footy works for us. We played that the last 6 or 7 weeks of last year, and it really worked for us. Pre-season, obviously with rotations, we had to get a bit fitter again. And that's what we rely on our run. So I guess similar things to last year, we just got to keep progressing.
Bit of a blow with Craig. Just saw the injury report that Matt Craig did his hammy. Pretty disappointing for him. Yeah,
Crack's had a pretty good pre-season, and for that to happen, I think it was last Thursday or something like that. It's really disappointing, but Crack will do the right stuff in rehab, and I'm sure he'll be back in a few weeks.
He's a pretty important player when he's firing. Do you think he'll play a big role this year?
Yeah, his kicking and his decision making is one of the best I've seen. So he's really important for us to go forward. But there's always guys to come in and fill the role as well.
How do you find the conditions on the weekend? You got to play dry weather footy and then as wet as it comes?
Yeah, it was a little bit windy to start off with, and then that third quarter come in, and when it started raining, you could hardly see the footy, and it was pretty tough conditions. So yeah, it wasn't great.
Well, good guys.
Beautiful.
Thanks guys.